Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to my full moon pick a card reading. It's finally done. I just finished and lots of great messages. Definitely let me know what you think. If any of it has resonated, feel free to write a message. And I just wanted to say hi. I like to just personally just thank everybody. Thank you so much, so much, so much. I love doing these and look forward on doing a lot more. And yeah, look out. If you haven't already clicked on that little bell notification, do it because there's going to be a lot of new stuff. And that is it. Enjoy. Ciao. I protect this space. I align this space. I connect with this space. May this reading bring you everything you need at this very moment. Welcome to my Looking Inwards full moon reading. So the full moon we just had in March the 28th, but it's not limited to this. These readings are timeless and dedicated for the next 2 weeks, regardless of when you are watching them at this moment. You are now at the meditation. I'm going to ask you to take 3 deep breaths in to allow your body to relax into this moment. Connecting your body, mind, and soul. Connecting to your internal compass, your intuition. And trusting it to guide you to exactly the deck or the decks that you need at this very moment. This is deck group 1. This is group 2. And this is group 3. Let's see which ones are attracting you. Is it the colors? Is it the figures on the decks? Is it the positions? Which one is nudging you? Which one is calling out to you? Which one is just irresistible? And let's begin. And it begins, this is for group 1. You guys have chosen the beautiful bracelet over here with the little angel or bird pendant. I actually received this at a wedding. So my first impression for this deck is that there is a communion of some sort. There's going to be a collaboration or an actual wedding. If it's not a wedding, it is going to be a deepening of a relationship, whether it's a friendship or a love relationship. But I kind of think it's going to be love related. So for all those that have questions about that, this is a kind of a confirmation that yes, things are going to get better, things are going to look up. Your relationship, if you are in one, is going to kind of that is not the right word, but is going to just harmoniously come together, and things are starting to make sense. Okay, and with that, we're gonna go straight to the cards. So the archetype is basically the overall energy that we're gonna go through for the next few weeks, and we have the Lovers card. Like I said it before and I'll say it again, energy does not lie. Energy is all around us, and the way we interact with energy will ultimately create our reality. And I I do not look at these cards beforehand. So the Lovers cards. Let's dive deep. So the Lovers card is about basically everything I mentioned before, the coming together, the legalization, almost like the not the legalization is like more in terms of legal matters, but it's this coming together, this like statement and declaration to the world that we are official, that we are going to promise and make specific vows for each other that will be long term and no longer short term. So this doesn't have to be love related. This could definitely be in a partnership, maybe a business, maybe a friendship. Maybe you're deepening certain connections that you had, and this is just like a nice like confirmation that yes, this is the right guy, this is the right girl, this is the right one, this is the right partner. You have two hands over here, um, and it's almost like a soulmate of some kind. This is what I'm kind of picking up, because over here you have a lighter, almost ethereal hand that is coming in. So this is something that was in the making. This was something that was destined almost. And for those who are already in a relationship, this is like a deepening of this connection, a deepening. Whatever you've been going through, if you've been going through heartache, there's like a mending coming about. I feel like some of you have been working really hard in just finding yourself in this relationship or outside, like just personally working on just personal upgrading. So you've been working on yourself and you've been working on the lessons that needed to be learned. And by you working on these lessons, by you, not a question of fixing, we don't need any fixing, we're just here to experience life, right? So by you experiencing life and enjoying it and learning the lessons that you were meant to learn on this plane, you are now strengthening your bond. And sometimes when we get in a relationship, we get caught up in the relationship. We kind of forget where we start and where we end, or where the other person starts and where the other person ends. So we forget that sometimes, not that we forget, but we have a tendency of just completely blending everything in one big ball of, oh, this is what it's supposed to be, this is a relationship, or losing ourselves basically. So as soon as we start taking consciousness and realizing and taking awareness that, oh wow, yes, we have lost ourselves and our true beingness, and in this kind of relationship, and again, it doesn't need to be a love relationship, but any kind. It could be a friendship, it could be a parent and daughter, parent son relationship, it could be any kind of relationship. We tend to, whether it's out of fear, actually usually out of fear, we're afraid that we're not worthy, or afraid that we're not good enough, or afraid that we are not doing enough. And hence, when we see the relationship crumbling, we tend to try to control everything instead of just letting the things fall. so they can fall into place, so we can then remember what we actually came here for, and remember that this is just part of the ride, that we're not meant to control everything. We're not meant to lose ourselves in a relationship, regardless of what that is, especially not love relationships. I mean, we get so emotionally involved in terms of love relationships, and our emotions in these cases a lot of times blind us from our true wants or true desires, or our true wants, our true desires, but also we tend to just pick up not malfunctioning versions of relationships, but more like outdated versions. Versions that helped once upon a time, but is not the case anymore, because we have grown, we have evolved, we have so much knowledge than what we used to have, right? So, your archetype of the next 2 weeks, let me come back, is the Lover's card. So maybe you're actually falling in love with yourself, and you are making a contract with your higher self at this point, or your guides too. That could be definitely uh, uh, one of the messages here for some of you. And whatever it is, it's deepening. This connection is deepening, and I feel like a lot of you are going to understand everything and the reason why so much pain occurred, or so much heartache occurred, and everything is just going to be clarified in the next 2 weeks. You're going to be like, oh wow, this is why, this is what I needed to learn, this is what I need to get stronger in, this is where I needed to, you know, get better at. And I feel like some of you is going to be that, you know, putting your foot down, or speaking up, speaking your truth. Yes. So that is your archetype. Hopefully you see it. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to go with what do we need to know for you guys for the next 2 weeks. Speaking about, talking about speaking your truth, speaking your honest, genuine selves. So you have the Queen of Wands over here. So the Queen of Wands is all about that. She is the queen of communication, the queen of her reality, of her speaking her reality into creation. So everything that you've been desiring, everything that you've been wanting, I mean, it's coming to fruition. Let me get these up here a little more. They're coming into fruition, and you're not at the end of some of the heartache or the turmoil. You are, I said you're not at the end, but you're coming towards the end, but you're not done. There's still, it's like the race is not over. You still need to stand your ground if that's what you've been doing lately. You still need to speak your truth. You still need to be your genuine self. Remind yourself every day what your values are, and why you started this journey, and why you started to change the things that you wanted to change. Remember why you want to learn these lessons. It's super important, because this is going to be the motivation for you to get to the finish line, get to this ultimate self of yours. And part of this journey is to walk away from things that does not serve you, and this includes also the conversations or the arguments that does not serve you, the self-talk that doesn't serve you, and like the people that doesn't serve you either. The conversations, I mean, it might be people that you genuinely love, and you want to spend time with them, but there's going to be times where they're going to maybe start a conversation, you're going to be like, no, this is not part of the frequency that I want to project or encourage or feed. And I feel like a lot of these people will understand if you just speak that truth, speak that mind. Say, listen, I've been working on not gossiping, for instance, so I refuse. I will, you can just say it nicely. I will right now move into the next room until you guys are done, and then I'll come back. It's like small little gestures like that, right? Or I'm gonna go take a walk and need a breather. And that's very important too. The self-care routines that you've been providing yourself. Don't, like, it's not the time to let go of the ring, basically. You're on this path, and you're going at it strong, and you've been doing the work, and you've been going, and you're almost there, but you're not done. You can see how she's just focused. She's not distracted. Although she can get distracted because you have all this behind her that might still be alluring her. So what do I mean by that is that her past might still have the best of her, or past behaviors might still have the best of her, but in but at this very moment she is focused. But that doesn't mean that she might not trip and fall. And it's okay if you trip and fall. There's nothing wrong with that. The idea is that you get up and you just remind yourself why you're doing all this, regardless of all the pain, regardless of the how hard it might be certain days. Just remember that back here is not where you're going. You want to go forward. And the same with this card. If you can remember, if you could remind when you wake up in the morning, one of the first things you do, or maybe after some of the priorities that you have, one of the first things you can do is really write down, okay, these are the behaviors that I am breaking free from. These are the thought patterns that I'm breaking free from. And just give yourself accountability when you are processing, or when you are declaring, when you remind yourself, okay, this is what I used to be, or this is what I used to do, but I am going here now. You're making a clear statement that you are moving forward, that you no longer want to be there. And if you can use emotions, your body doesn't know the difference between what is real and what is reality, and what is non-reality, what is fake. Or this whole fake it till you make it bit, it has some kind of scientific proof in it, because your emotions and your imagination, if you can create that emotional reaction in your body towards the person you do want to be, or towards the gratitude of actually achieving these emotional states, these emotional or behavioral aspects that you want to achieve, your body is going to believe that it's already in the future instead of it being in the past. The repetitive thought patterns that usually come about is because we're always reliving the past by through our mind and through our imagination, because that's that powerful. Like, we are that incredibly powerful. So in resume, what you need to know at this very moment for the next 2 weeks is that it's not done yet. The work still needs to be applied. Everything that you've been doing, you still need to apply it. And if you're not sure what to do, go seek help. Go see people who have been in this situation, or you have um, so many people on Instagram or YouTube or these social media outlets that are going through the same thing. We're all one, right? Somebody is going through something. And or even if you just ask the universe, I need help. And if you're really paying attention or listening, after you let that statement go and be like, I need help to help me through this, you will receive something in unexpected ways. Somebody's going to tell you the right thing, or it's going to tell you or you're going to hear about a video or maybe even a conference, and it's going to be exactly what you need to check out at that very moment. And all this is going towards this ultimate self, this ultimate expression of your true identity, the true queen or king that you're looking towards achieving. Let's see where this is all going. Okay, so where this is all going, I'm getting the vibe here that everything and anything that would have phased you or that could phase you in the next 2 weeks will try to phase you, will try to get you off your course, will try to manipulate your course, you not consciously, unconsciously, because like I said, you are in your final parts of the race, so you're going to get a lot of challenges right now. But if you just stand your ground and align yourself with the true intentions, the real reasons why, the real intentions to why you're doing all this, you're going to be able to walk away from it like unapologetically and without any worry or hardship doing so. Like, I feel you're gonna have people who are unaligned right now, who don't know how to communicate with themselves or communicate with others, and that are just emotionally a wreck. And they're gonna tempt you into bringing you down, bringing you to their level, and just don't. I mean, it's easy to say, oh, I'm not gonna do this, I'm gonna do that when that happens, and in the moment is super hard to do. But just remember, if there's something you can go to that will instantly release this energy or release this tendency of going back or forth, like for example, what I love to do when I feel my anger boiling or this anxiety that's kind of coming about, I remind myself to ground. I tell myself I am grounded, or I tell myself I release fear. These are just affirmations. And this doesn't mean that you shouldn't feel these emotions, that you shouldn't allow yourself to hold on and pretend like everything's okay. On the contrary, being completely aligned means that you're able to fully feel and fully allow these emotions come go in and through you. But that's the thing, if you're going to let it go through you, you can have it go in one direction or the other. You can allow it to go in a constructive way or a destructive way, and there's no right or wrong. There's just a creation of this polarity. You're feeding a low frequency or you're going to feed a higher frequency. I mean, are you going to be the person who's going to be so angry that you're going to go and shoot a bunch of people? Like this little graphic there, sorry, but I mean, it has happened. People have said many times that, oh, well, I just didn't like the way he was looking at me, or I was just having a bad day. I mean, you can have a bad day and then create one of the best arts that you ever created in your life, or a book that is so soulful and so emotionally charged that it inspires other people, you know? So it's really what you decide to do with the energy force. Yes, you absolutely need to feel it. And sometimes it's just screaming at the top of your lungs, and that's great too. And sometimes it's going to be exercise, martial arts. That was another outlet for me. After work and school, I would go to a martial arts class, and it just felt great to just release, let go of the energy. And then after that, I was doing yoga as well. And it doesn't even have to be that, it could be going for a walk. But as long as you remind yourself of these outlets, you can even have a little bracelet with like breathe on it. So you can just write it down. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It doesn't have to be anything incredible. Another thing that I would do is that I would have a stone around my neck, a necklace with a specific stone that I felt like I needed at that moment. And just conscious action of grabbing and holding it was enough for me to come back to center, come back to this state of alignment and harmony that I wanted to be in before reacting or responding to a situation. So yeah, that's where this is all going. You're going to become just an incredible power of force to be reckoning with. Like nobody will be able to phase you at all in terms of these next, like once you practice this and you put them in effect and really being clear of your intentions and where you want to head, you're going to have incredible moments of unity and incredible collaborations, and you will be actually able to blend worlds. You'll be able to create a beautiful world within all this, and you'll be able to say to those that are unworthy, unworthy is a pretty big term, but I mean just people who are, I'm going to say, unworthy of your presence or unworthy of your lessons or wisdom or knowledge, or just unworthy of your love towards them. If you've been giving so much to someone and you've been finally putting your foot down and respecting yourself enough to say enough is enough, or this is what I want, or this is what I don't want, this is how I want to be treated, with the still open heart. Obviously, it's everything is about collaborating, but there's certain things that are non-negotiable, right? And once you know what your non-negotiables are, the people who are not ready to actually provide and work towards these non-negotiables are the ones that are gonna just let, like, and that's the beauty of all this work, these people are just gonna go on their own. They're, you won't even need to tell them anything. Your higher frequency is going to be enough for them to be like, oh, okay, no, this is too much work. I'm just going to find somebody else, or I'm just going to go somewhere else to look for the instant satisfaction or gratitude that I'm looking for. So, yeah, so unworthy in that way, in the way that they're not ready to do the work, basically. And you're going to have one message: waking the lions. So the guidance, the message for the next 2 weeks is just walk your talk and talk your walk, awaking that fierce energy that is within you, this power, taking back. To me, like, this is always, you're taking back your power, you're taking back your energy from, for yourself, because you need it for yourself before giving it to anybody else, right? I always say you have to give from the overflow of your energy, not from your energy, the one that's supposed to be supporting you. You're supposed to be creating and maintaining and filling up your vessel before you can go and help somebody else. That's number one. And this is in terms, in every term possible. So if it's career, if it's success, if it's personal self-love, if it's grounding, education, knowledge, wisdom, whatever fills up your soul, your heart, your mind, people benefit from the overflow of it. Because if you cannot do that or provide that for yourself, you, I mean, you can give it to others, but it's going to be very short lived, it's going to be very hard to sustain. When it's from the overflow, that's when it's sustainable, because not or only are you completely filled, but the people around you is filling your vessel as much as you're filling it for yourself. And this overflow is just like a, for me, it's like a give and take, right? So anyways, I'll let you guys fill in the blank for that. So yeah, awaken the lion is this self-worth that you are creating for yourself, that is going to create a beautiful, it's going to be the you creating your true, the creation of your life, and of who you really are. I mean, it's, there's already plenty of versions out there, but you're really picking and choosing, okay, this is how I want it, this is how I desire it. And that's just going to explode through your relationships, and it's going to be very apparent very soon. The next 2 weeks is still going to be work. There's still work to be done, but you're at the final battle, you're at the final stages. So that's it for today, guys. That's it for today, my group, beautiful group ones. And you know how it goes. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, comment, tag me on Instagram if you'd like. Tell me if this resonated with you. I'm here to vibe. I'm here to connect with each and every one of you. I love what I do. And that's it. Ciao. Enjoy. Okay, these are for my group twos. Welcome to my channel. And for those who don't know, I have Reiki energy embedded in each group on my full moon and new moon pick a card readings. These are great for the next 2 weeks, but not limited to that. This full moon is March 29th, 2021. And if you actually do want to claim the Reiki, all you need to do is state, I desire or I accept this Reiki energy sent to me by Katarina Lookin or Lookin Inwards. So we'll begin right away. I actually, there's a lot going on in this group so far. You have extra cards. You're one of the only ones that actually has extra cards. So I'm going to start with the pendant that you chose. So the pendant is a pentagram, and the pentagram is known to just be a protective symbol. It's been in paganism and many other cultures before that known as a symbol of protection. So I'm getting the impression that this is really, like, this next 2 weeks is going to be a weeks of self-care and really taking care of your energetic field. I feel like maybe you've been someone who's been upgrading spiritually, and for you especially, I'm sensing that a lot of you are some kind of light workers, and maybe also doing Reiki or is looking into doing Reiki. But any kind of energy work that you're doing always needs to have this healthy practice of protecting and just maintaining and healing your energetic field, your energetic aura, because it's so easy to get des fissures. You can just scar it, and as soon as you have like these energetic holes, if you have like these holes in this field, it's like it's like an egg, right? If your shell is shattered, if your shell has little holes in it, you're more susceptible to, and you're more vulnerable to prey, any kind of prey. In this case, it'll be lower frequency beings or people that, you know, are just not in the same wavelength as you. So definitely these 2 weeks needs to be all about protecting, protecting, protecting. There's actually two on here. So I feel like some of you are upgrading heavily, But the more you upgrade, the more you raise, the more you're scaring a lot of lower frequency beings. So you might get a lot of challenge, or you might get a lot of confrontations because of it. So just keep to your guns, but do protect. I won't emphasize this enough. It's something's being uncovered. You have the stone here is a moonstone, and as we know, the moon, for those of you who knows, for those of you who don't, the moon is all about uncovering and shedding light into the darker little areas of ourselves. And in this case, it might be darker areas of society, or certain communities, or um, I said societies. So I feel like maybe you are the one uncovering, or you're shedding light, or you are shedding light on your own kind of behaviors that are maybe not as healthy, or uncovering just unconscious behaviors or attitudes that need to have the light shined on it. And this could be pretty heavy stuff. And the heavier it is, the easier it is, and the faster we bring our frequency at our lower vibration and a lower frequency. So just for the next 2 weeks, it's really about maintenance. And as soon as you feel like something's up, as soon as you feel like you're a little more fearful, or you're getting anxious of some sort, it's probably the time to maybe do a self Reiki, self healing, um, anything that will raise your frequency. So even going out in nature, and just protect, protect, protect. Create an energetic bubble. You can work with Archangel Michael's flame, blue flame. That's great. This one is just amazing to heal any severs, any holes that were created, conscious or unconsciously. So let's see. You guys actually had 2 archetypes. So for those of you who don't know, I always pick 2 archetypes for the next 2 weeks, 2 overall energies. And you received the Chariot and the Fool. These are both great, like separate and especially together for me, because the Chariot is all about movement. So you are definitely upgrading in some way. You are definitely just moving forward and with a force. This is something that is extremely fast. Like change is a coming, and it's a coming just at a frequency and at a rate that can actually be overwhelming. So, and it could also mean travel. Maybe you're traveling, or you know someone who's traveling. Technically you, obviously, but as you can see on this Chariot, you have many different eyes. So I feel like you might be even traveling in different dimensions, different realities, different, you'll be able to tap into maybe astral travel. So I feel like there's definitely some kind of travel going on. And the Fool, once again, all kinds of eyes on this one. So there's going to be probably all eyes on you at a point, or that's what you're feeling, and that's probably what's going on. But the Fool is all about just going with it, just winging it, having fun with it. So to have these 2 side by side is like one of the best things you can have. But it can, as I said, be overwhelming. And as the Fool, if you don't protect yourself, or you just, you know, if you don't stay grounded, you might just fall off the cliff, like the original card depicts, right? So again, it goes back to protecting your energy, protecting yourself, just staying grounded, staying level-headed, because whatever you're creating if you don't ground yourself, you won't be able to create it in the third dimension. Like whether we want it or not, we're still living by these rules, and certain rules need to be applied to actually have it, I want to say, magically created or magically appear, but it's not magic, right? Because everything's energy. So, whew, okay, yes, wow, this is heavy, heavy, heavy energy. And yes, when you're tapping into these kinds of frequencies and these kinds of realms and these kinds of realities, you definitely want a compass. You want your a guide in some sort, or like that true north. A lot of people actually tattoo a compass on their body just to remind themselves to stay the course, because it's so easy to get lost in these different realms, especially if we're just jumping in them for the first time. There's just I mean, the wisdom and the knowledge is infinite, but it's easy to just get lost in it all as well. So the next 2 weeks, be very mindful, go with the flow, have fun with it, be curious. The Fool is all about curiosity for sure, but do please protect yourself and just have something to refer to that will ground you and bring you back to kind of like reality, I guess it would be. Not that like everything is part of reality, but sometimes we can just get lost in the abyss, and then our bodies are here but they're non-functional anymore, right? So things are moving fast this next 2 weeks. They're supposed to. Stay grounded and go with the flow. Just have fun with it all. There we go. So what do we have for the next 2 weeks? What do we need to know? Ah, wow. Okay. So like I said, there was a lot of cards over here that wanted to speak up. Okay, what I'm getting here is a sense of reluctance. You do not want to ask for help. There is a reluctance into admitting that you need help. And this might actually cause, I was going to say this was going to cause a lot of conflict, but I feel like there is somebody here that's communicating with you and helping you opening up to this kind of limitation that you've put yourself, this outdated belief that you've given yourself. And I feel like this person, I feel like it's a man who, young at heart, maybe he is young physically, but he has such a great way of words. He has this incredible, like, quick, swift, to the point kind of attitude, and knows like kind of where it hurts, or knows how to use it to get things moving, get things advancing. And this person is going to be extremely helpful into getting you out of this kind of rut of like not being able to ask for help, or reluctant to ask for help, because you have so many people around you that is giving and qui tendre la main, and you just don't want to take it, or you're just not able to. But I feel like because it's in reverse, you are coming out of it. So the next 2 weeks, you're coming out of it big due to this person. And this is going to take so much weight off of your shoulders. Like this is something that, like, you've been putting so much weight on your shoulders that has been keeping you up at night. And just the, just the just the fact that you're listening and that you're actually considering it and that you're actually taking the steps towards getting the help or receiving the help, it is just opening up this beautiful portal here, this beautiful bridge towards all your true hearts and desires. The muse of materials is all about this ultimate muse of her kingdom, this the ultimate king. It's actually the representation of the king, and you see how you have her guides and her angels just accompanying her through this journey. And I feel like some of it is that asking your guides to help you. Your guides are there, your angels are there. These are people that want to help. And for those of you who don't believe in all that or don't understand any of that, these are just energetic beings that are vibrating at a certain frequency, and energy is everything. And just because we don't see, let's say, our loved ones who have deceased doesn't mean that they're not there. They are a energetic force that you can tap into and request for backup, request for help, in addition to your guides and specific ascending masters. If you have been, for instance, for example, when I was younger growing up, my parents were very Catholic, and I connected very well with the figure called Jesus, and I was very connected with his messages. And to me, that was somebody I tapped into very often when I was younger. And even now, I still tap into. I have definitely opened up my horizons, but I have come back recently into requesting help or guidance through his thoughts, his visions, or just through his energetic force as well. At the end of the day, if a group of people believe in something, that creates and generates an energy as well. And this energy will go to the collective conscious, but also just create something. I mean, you can create something so powerful and beautiful energetically, like these ascending masters or these beings that have ascended themselves through their thoughts and experiences, or you can create just incredible destruction as well. So I do believe our thoughts is so incredibly powerful. And I mean, it's not only a belief system, it has been proven scientifically that our thoughts create our reality. And imagine if a group of people kept thinking about the same things over and over and over again. This will create a cycle, this will create a whirlpool of energy. And this whirlpool of energy will create maybe an extended version of itself. So, I mean, we're getting pretty deep here, but you know what you understand what I'm saying here. So basically, connect with your guides, because these guides just are waiting for you to ask politely, of course, for their help. And basically, where I'm going at with all this is that you being able, and I feel like it's going to also help you project and propel as fast as these archetypes are stating that you will for the next 2 weeks. And you will just become like the ultimate entrepreneur, the ultimate king of your domain. So if you are into energy work, as I'm sensing, you're just going to be the top of the top. You're going to get towards that, those alliances. Maybe it's the alliances that you just need just to perfect certain cues or experiences, but whatever it is, you are going, if you allow yourself this help, this permission to request for help, you will be basically unstoppable in the empire that you're creating. And where is this all going? Okay, so where is this all going? There's going to be, Well, when are you going to stop self-sabotaging yourself? Because when you're not requesting for help, it's so easy to sabotage by saying, oh, I can't do this, or I'm not able to do this, by admitting that there's people you know that know the things that you don't. You're already cutting that cord of self-sabotage. You're giving yourself the opportunity, and you have now just eliminated any potentiality of self-sabotaging yourself in any way. And I feel like, I don't know, we had this on the new moon also. There's a particular person that might not have your best interests. And I feel like by requesting, by having these people actually help you and see you through certain things, they will be able, like, you will be able to shed light on whoever this person is and basically get rid of them in the nicest way possible, of course. And I feel like whatever doomsday that is kind of looking, if you feel like the sun hasn't been really coming out, or this, it hasn't been really like a positive month or week or of some sort, it's going to change. Like, that's what you're going to be expecting. You're going to be expecting a massive change, and whatever death, and it could be the death of this, the death of you not being able to request for help. This is going to just upgrade you. This is kind of like the, whatever death reverse to me is like the reluctancy of letting something just die. And in this case, I do believe it will be the old way of thinking, the old way of, I gotta do everything on my own, I need to do everything on my own, and that's just how it's gotta be. And then you're overwhelmed so much that you're not able to sleep at night. So this is what's going to just 380, 360, I mean, maybe 380. You're gonna get past beyond that and just accelerate like you will be the next 2 weeks. And yeah, the sun, this beautiful card, this beautiful energy, a new life coming about. The feelings of not having light shed on some of these is just going, if you allow it, it's going to be done with. You will move forward. And yeah, for all those that you feel or you have been feeling like somebody has not been having your best interest, I mean, I just want to say, don't take any chances. I feel like this has to do also with the protection. There's nothing wrong with you setting boundaries. It is super important for you to set healthy boundaries, especially if you're not sure of something. Worst case scenario, you can always apologize, but you want to protect yourself, especially if you are deciding to go on different realms and go on different journeys and dimensions and all that. Super important to protect yourself, because you are very susceptible to attracting all kinds of beings. And if you decide to go with a feeling of unease or a feeling, any kind of feelings that are at a lower frequency, you are susceptible to these vampires that are just waiting for somebody to take part in these different matters and different dimensions so they could attach themselves and leech. So if you do decide to do any of this, which I definitely encourage, but with the right knowledge, make sure that you grab something that will protect you. Or like I said, energy has no boundaries, so just you working on your energetic field, making sure you're strengthening it, making sure you're healing it, making sure that you're feeding it some positive love and affection, you should be fine. Read the books necessary, learn from the mistakes of others, basically, is what I want to say. And the guidance for you, beyond the ordinary. So yes, As you can see, this person is in all kinds of wavelengths and all kinds of frequencies over here, all kinds of colors. The rainbow to me is just like another confirmation that you will be tapping into all kinds of uncharted areas. So very important. Protect yourself. Make sure that you're well aware that you are that you're meant to be there, but to also just, you know, be worried, but protect yourself, but also just have fun with it. Just enjoy the process as well. This is part of your journey. This is part of your awareness. This is part of your growth. And you got this. Just remember that you got this. There is no doubt in my mind, and there is no doubt after seeing this card. There's like a little star here. Just believe that all the answers are within your heart. Believe that your intuition will guide you towards the right people, towards the right information, and towards just the incredible path that you are meant to lead. There's no wrong way, right? And that is it for you, group two. Enjoy the next 2 weeks. Have fun with it. And definitely let me know if this resonates. And I would love to know just the stories behind any of these awesome journeys and adventures that you'll be receiving. So, yes. Ciao. Okay, these are for my group threes. Hey, hey. Just to let you know, that every group is embedded with Reiki energy, and to claim it, all you need to do is state, I accept this Reiki energy sent to me by Katarina Lookin, or Lookin Inwards, or just simply Kat. They'll know energy is intelligent, so don't worry about that. As long as you're sitting quietly in an area where you know you will not be bothered, you will take in and reap the benefits of this energetic cleanse. So, with that said, we're gonna jump right in. So, you chose this beautiful bracelet with a turquoise and shell, if I'm not mistaken. This was actually locally made, it was handmade. So, the first impression I'm getting for this group is that it's time to work on your craft. You need to work on your craft. So, every time we set out on a project or whatnot, it's easy to fall off the bandwagon. It's easy to make up or create excuses around it. What I'm hearing here is really a sense of just start it, or just do it, or just like make the first step, whether it's opening up the book or reading one excerpt or one page, whether it's finding one information or asking help or asking guidance to that one little thing that you need guidance or help with. It is definitely that time. I'm having a I'm I don't know why I'm getting the sense that some of you need to tap into your emotional intelligence, or just tap into that kind of, because I'm getting a watery vibe over here. So some of you might be a water sign, or some of you need to just tap into what the water signs bring, which is this emotional abundance and understanding. And although it could be overwhelming sometimes, there's a lot of lessons in there, and you will reap the benefits of it. It's probably because of the little coral that we got over here in the color. And I'm getting also just trust yourself. It doesn't have to be perfect. Let it be messy. Let this creative spark that you have, or this, excuse me, let it be as messy as it can. What needs to come out will come out, and you will know what parts to use, what parts not to use. But let it be untamed. And for some of you, I don't know why this blockage in the throat area that I'm having right now. I am, for most of you, it's like a self-expression, and some of you are probably scared of utilizing your creative side for self-expression because you're afraid of what people will think. Maybe some of you are actually into singing and are afraid of what people are gonna think, or you're just doubting yourself. Yeah, because it's kind of like a throat chakra over here. Um, let that shiznit go. Who cares? Fuck them. Like, really, fuck them. Like, fuck them. It doesn't matter what they think. What matters is what you think about yourself, and that's it. That's all that matters. As long as you're having fun with it and you're enjoying it, you're practicing, and you are, what's the word I'm looking for? Practicing the skill, but there's a specific quote or a saying, fine tuning your skills. I mean, that's all that matters. As long as you are getting better than the version you were yesterday, your only enemy is staying in that place, and more importantly, getting sucked into the past thoughts. And you are your only like challenger in this life. Nobody else. Nobody else has a right to judge you. Especially not like random people who don't know you, or even people that you do know you. Like, you have a selected few that you should have around that are honest with you, that you can respect, and that they respect you, and you guys could openly criticize, like constructively critic each other. But even then, doesn't mean that you have to listen to everything they say or agree with everything they say. That's why they're friends. They're here to give you their opinion, but even their opinion is limited because you only know yourself fully and truly and deeply. Okay? So, as usual, we will start with the archetype of the next 2 weeks. So, for you, and the archetype means just like the overall energy. You have the magician. Okay, perfect. This is perfect with what I was saying. The magician is about creating your reality. So the ultimate creator, the person, that magician that takes in all the elements, and the ultimate alchemist that is creating and just evolving not only himself but the betterment and like for the greater good of everybody, right? And yeah, the magician usually doesn't give a rat's, about what other people think of it, as long as it knows it's aligned, and it knows that it's doing the right thing, not only for himself but for everybody around them. That's all he needs to ignite this passion, ignite this flame. Let's see, what else do we have here? I don't know why, but this goat is coming. It's just catching my eye, and it usually doesn't. So I don't know. I feel like some of you might be working with an Aries these next couple of weeks, or you're gonna tap into this Aries energy. So this go-getterness, this self-esteem booster, like you will find and work with these elements. These are going to be your key elements into advancing into the creation of whatever you're trying to create right now, whatever you are artistically fine-tuning towards. So definitely tap into that, take in all the positivity, and just phones, just go for it. Take those steps. And even if you fall a couple of times, even if you trip, even if you take a couple of steps back, that's the beauty of this journey, the beauty of life itself. It's unpredictable, and yes, sometimes you're gonna fall, you might hurt yourself, but as long as you're the only one that, as long as you are trying and you are competing against yourself and the outdated version of yourself and the old version of yourself, then you're good. You're moving forward. So yeah, some of you is gonna be working on your self-esteem and your self-love and that whole, like, I don't know, Aries is all about this very strong masculinity, but this beautiful, what's the word I'm looking for? This like entrepreneur, but very self-conscious, but also he takes space, right? Aries is all about the energy of taking space and being unapologetic about it. And yeah, now's the time. It's the time to shine. It's the time to express everything. And it doesn't mean that you have to be arrogant like Aries can be sometimes, but on the contrary, you can use it to your advantage and towards your growth, basically. Like, I feel like it's going to be like a go-getterness the next 2 weeks. So we'll start with what we need to know. Okay, so yes, the Six of Materials, so the Six of Pentacles, is all about this beautiful give and take. So this beautiful give and take, and for some reason I had in my mind the craftsmanship, which is the Eight of Pentacles. So for me, it's like, okay, you are working on your craft, but you are also collaborating and you will be joining. And I feel like you're gonna just have this sense of overwhelming kindness, not only towards yourself but towards everybody around you. I feel like whatever hardships you've gone through, you are surpassing them, and you're just gonna have this love for life. I feel like as the more you practice your craft and the more you, I don't know why, like, if you guys are into singing right now, like the more you, whatever gifts you're looking into, or whatever projects that you're starting right now, I feel like you can have this sense of overwhelming joy and happiness into sharing this with the world. You're going to share this, and I feel like it's going to just bring so much light and so much power towards other people who have gone through the same thing as you have, or who are going through the same thing as you are right now, whatever that may be. And I feel like this whole like self-limiting beliefs, like you have the devil's card over here in reverse, and I feel like you're gonna kind of cut those chains, these temptations that once kept you shackled. You're gonna break free from it, because you're gonna be like, you know what, I don't care, whatever, fuck everything, fuck them, I'm just gonna do me and I'm gonna be happy. And this is for me kind of like what the Aries energy represents, but also like the magician is just like, I'm gonna try, and whatever comes out, and I'm gonna learn from it. And as long as I'm having fun and enjoying myself, that's all that really matters. And obviously, as long as I'm not hurting anybody along the way. Oops, sorry about that. So yeah, as long as I'm not hurting anybody along the way. And I don't know why, I feel like some of you have picked my new moon pick a card as well, because we have the Six of Emotions. So it's all about our inner child. And there was a group on there, and I feel like some of you, it's kind of reoccurring, but I feel like where this is going, because if I'm not mistaken, the new moon was all about finding that inner child, finding that spark, finding what really like lighted your heart and your soul. And here I feel like you're gonna find it, like you're in the process. Whatever happened on during the new moon, like you are right on the path of healing the inner child, and embracing its gifts, embracing its powers. And it's, as you can see, this child here is like offering a gift to this person's soul. Like it feels If you look at her face, she kind of looks like lost. And I feel like for some of you, that's what happened during the new moon. You were kind of like hesitant, lost, didn't know really what you were going through or where you were heading. And then this gift that you remembered about your childhood that you enjoyed doing is just being presented and utilized. And you're like observing the show right now of everything that's going on. And yeah, you're just self-expressing yourself in a way that you haven't before. And it's just like, as you can see here, it's just beautiful how you're blossoming. Your self-esteem is growing with every step. What else do you need to know? Hopefully I'll find a better setup next time so you can see all the cards, but it is what it is right now. Okay, so what else do you need to know? Well, actually, where is this all going is the correct word for all this. The correct, where is this all going? So, okay, so there's still a couple of lessons for you to learn. In terms, okay, this is what you need to know right now is that you're working on your craft and keep doing it, because it's gonna just be the ultimate magic. The magic is going to come within this. You're going to have plenty of opportunities to break free from your self-fulfilling chains, but there will be a lot of envy and a lot of jealousy, I believe. Over here, the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is usually this person, as you can see here. He's he's like just getting rid of all the bad apples, right? Like the Seven of Wands, the traditional one, is about this person that's fighting off the wands, and he's alone, and it's just could be mental turmoil or physical. There's actual challenges on the way, and it could be like you attracting this because of your self-limiting beliefs or any kinds of doubt. But basically, where is this all going is that it's time for you to fight for what you want, and not necessarily fight. It's going to be more of a like putting your foot down. If somebody tells you, oh, you can't do that, like, oh, you're too old to do that, or you can't, you don't have any experience, or you can't achieve that, there's not enough time, well, you're just gonna be like, like, I'm like, screw off. This is my life. I can do whatever I want. And I feel like it's just going to be like one after another for the next 2 weeks. I feel like it's going to be towards the second half of the week. I feel like this first half is just this beautiful energy that I'm seeing here of you building the self-esteem. And by the next week, you're going to have these, like, the universe is always going to test you, right? The universe always is going to test to see how bad you really want what you're desiring. Like, how bad are you gonna like fight for your rights, or fight for your beliefs, fight for your freedom, right? And it doesn't have to be necessarily an actual mental or physical fight, but it is going to be like, how am I gonna set these boundaries? Am I gonna walk away when it's time to walk away? Am I gonna engage, or am I gonna let this person tell me what I should be doing? And one of the best things that I've come to practice for me was, if somebody tells me, oh, you don't have enough money for that, or you're too old to do that, I always say, well, that's your reality. It's not mine. I have a different reality. So this is your reality of the matter. That's their reality. It's like money, right? Some people say, oh, you have to work hard for your money. Well, you just by stating mentally or verbally that is your reality, it doesn't have to be mine. It is not mine. You're already sending out a frequency. You're sending out a statement that they're allowed to have that reality. They're allowed to have that perception. It doesn't have to be mine. And you know what kind of you know how you want the money to flow, for example, money to flow into your world, and how you want it to flow. Do you want it to be something that's like super hard work, or do you want it to just flow effortlessly? And that doesn't mean that you don't want to learn from your situation. Sometimes a little effort is good for not only stamina, but to grow big muscles and strong muscles, and to just, you know, learn a lesson, for instance, of discipline in some ways. So it really depends on what values and what characteristics you want to build in this new coming art, or this new coming creations and products, right? So that's very important for you to acknowledge as well. So this could be part of it as well, where, and I feel like that's where you're going to be, like that's the other parts of what you else you need to know. You have the judgment card here, and the judgment is really all about this awareness and this enlightenment. You're going to be like, wow, this is what I want, this is how I want to do it, this is what I need to change in my life to achieve it, this is what I need to this is how I would like to achieve it, this is how I would like to apply it. And you're going to start working on the details of the matter. So once you get rid of all this kind of gunk, all these people that are trying to get you to believe another reality, you're going to finally just awaken and be like, no, this is what I want, this is how I want it, this is where I want to go. For those who have been through heartache, you will be tested in the next 2 weeks. You will have, maybe this person's going to try to swindle you or try to make you believe something, or maybe this person's going to be like, oh no, you can't do it, you're delusional, you're not able to do it, you're too old, you're too this, you're too that. Maybe this is going to be where the knives are gonna go like deep in. But again, it's just a challenge. This is just one of your lessons that need to be cemented, that needs to be learned fully, because nobody, only you can allow someone to stab you in the heart. Only you could allow them to take your power, or only it's a question of taking responsibility. Yes, we're all here to help each other, we're all here influencing each other, but at the end of the day, you still have a choice. And as soon as you acknowledge that you have that choice, and only you could make those choices, whether it's allowing someone to hurt you, or um, or allowing love in, it's, it becomes the old, like it becomes your choice. It's one way of taking your power back. And this will get into details eventually in one of my videos. But overall, you need to work on your craft. You are becoming the ultimate magician, the ultimate creator, by using all the elements. Maybe there's a lot of people here that are helping you towards this new project, and it's really time for you to tap into this Aries perspective of life, which is like, I'm gonna go get what I want, I'm gonna go get what I desire, I'm gonna work hard for it, and I'm gonna work on my self-esteem. Because like I said before, Aries for me has a very strong sense of self, of worthiness. Anyways, the heal part of Aries, the positive aspects of Aries, because every sign has like positive lower frequencies and higher frequencies, let's just say it like that. And then from there, what you need to know is that you are breaking free from certain shackles, and your childhood, or the best memories of what you desired are going to be gifted to you. And this is just going to bring this beautiful passion and this willingness to share it with the world, and this sharing it with the world will benefit it. So just remember, whatever you will be sharing, you will be helping a lot of people. So It doesn't have to be one of your intentions, but I do highly encourage it, because the best gifts you can do for yourself is to share your gift to the world for the purpose of helping others, right? Again, it comes back to the notion we're all here. We're all in this together, and we're all here to help each other. And where is this all going is going towards people that are going to challenge you, and it's up to you. And you're going to decide whether you're going to listen to these people, or you're going to just take the challenge and learn how to put your foot down and say, like, no, that is your reality, it's not mine. I'm creating my reality right now, and I feel like this is going to enlighten and bring you forward and bring you to the next step of the journey of enlightenment or spirituality or whatever you want to call it, the next level up to where you want to head, where you want to go. It's all about intentions, remember. And I mean, if there's something weighing on your heart, it could be a relationship. I mentioned relationship, but it could be anything else. It could be something, it could be a friendship. It could be a job that you wanted really bad and it didn't turn out, or it didn't work out. Whatever is weighing on your heart, it's going to be tested in the next 2 weeks, but it needs to be, because it needs to be learned for you to fully embrace where you're going. It needs to be learned so you can move forward. Okay, it's a blessing in disguise, trust me. I've been through it. And the lesson of the week, oh, it's ears wide open. Yes, so it's ears wide open. Number 33, you have guides with you. It's really the time to pay attention and to listen to the messages and to learn from your lessons. There's going to be a lot of synchronicities, and if you're paying attention to them, if you're actually allowing them to show themselves by not being distracted by maybe your love relationship or ex-love relationship, or being distracted by these people, or even by your enlightenment. Sometimes we're just like so in awe with where we want to go, and this awe of like, oh wow, I'm there, now what? And all this could be distractions as well. But if you just allow things to be, enjoy life, like, if you're gonna do something, do it out of bliss. That's the best way to actually create in a blissful state, because the intentions are pure, and you will see the signs, and you will pay attention to what's the next step, and that's gonna take you to exactly where you want to go, by to create exactly what you want to create for yourself and for your life, and probably for all the people around you. Like, I'm getting a very strong sense here that you have something to share to the world. You have something to give to this world. It's very important, and you feel it in your heart, and it's just a question of accepting it and not letting everybody um, dim this light or create this static around it, right? And that is it for my group threes. And that is it for today's, this full moon's reading. So I hope you enjoyed. Remember, these messages are timeless. And yeah, let me know if you enjoyed. Let me know if anything resonated. And do come back to the video if there's something that actually did happen. I love hearing these. These are for you guys. So I'm here to vibe with you guys as best I can. This is one outlet that I like to use, and I am super grateful that I could do this for you guys. So yeah, don't be shy. Ask me any questions if there's any clarifications, or you just want to say hello. I just resonate with it so much. And that's it. Have a great week, and happy Easter for those who are celebrating. And that's it. Ciao, guys.